Good evening, all. Good evening, Shiv Prasad.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Tanmay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Shruti.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Bhumika VK.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Bhumika KM.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, everyone, once again. Yeah, so myself, Mallesh from Abhyantrik Soft Lab. Okay. As you all joining for today's day 1 class. Okay, so this is the first class of machine learning with Python introduction class. Yeah, good evening, Pavitra.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. So I'm from Malesh from Abhyantrik Soft Lab. Okay. So this program is about machine learning. Okay. So ML with Python. Okay. So here we are going to discuss today basically about what you will be learning in this particular internship program and how do you begin this learning. Okay, so before that I just want to get a brief introduction about yourself. Okay, so Shiv Prasad, starting with. Shiv Prasad,
Yes, sir.
can you give a short introduction about yourself?
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. Myself, I am from Management Software Engineering and I am from Mechatronics Department. And I joined machine learning with Python in order to get the knowledge about coding because since I am in mechatronics,
join ಆಗಿ
coding is necessary
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ
and I
ನಾನು
am
ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ
too
ಇವಾಗ.
weak in coding. For that purpose, I joined machine learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiv. So Tanmay. Shruti DS, we'll move on to.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, Tanmay, you are audible. You can continue.
Sir, good evening to everyone. My name is Tanmay. I am from Mechatronics Department in 6th sem. I have joined this course to enhance my knowledge in machine learning and even enhance my knowledge in coding. So my purpose of learning is gaining as much as knowledge as possible and even completing the projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanmay. Shruti DS.
Myself, Shruti. Good evening, all. Myself, Shruti DS. I am from Bapuji Institution of Engineering and Technology. My branch is Electronics and Department. I gaining knowledge about Python for coding. That's all.
Yeah, Shruti, fine. Thank you. See here, guys. One thing. Okay, when you're introducing, okay, don't worry. Okay, so try speak as much as possible with you or whatever you want to convey. Just convey it. Okay, so no need to hurry up. Okay, so quickly you can all give the introduction. Okay, so please, while giving the introduction, give your name. Okay, college, where you're from, branch. Okay, and then like why do you joining this? Okay, like what you would like to learn and all. Okay, fine. We'll continue with the Bhumika VK.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Bhumika VK. I am from Bapuji Institute and Engineering Technology, Davangere. I joined to machine learning with Python because of I gained the knowledge in coding. I want to gain the knowledge in coding, so I joined the Python.
Thank you, Bhumika. Okay, Bhumika came.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am Bhumika KM. I am doing my 6th semester Electronics and Communication from Bapuji Institute of Engineering and Technology, Davangere. I joined this ML with Python course because I am interested in coding. I want to join IT, so I am here. Thank you.
Thank you. Pavitra, NS. Pavitra, NS. Okay, Akshay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Akshay.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good evening.
Sir,
ಹೇಳಿ ಅಕ್ಷಯ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿ, ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಅಕ್ಷಯ್ ಸರ್. ನಾನು ಬಾಪೂಜಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಿರೋದು 6th ಸೆಮ್.
ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮ್ದು ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್?
ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್
ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ನಾವು ಕೊಪ್ಪಳ.
ಕೊಪ್ಪಳ. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಹೇಳಿ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಕ್ಷಯ್.
ಮಷಿನ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗಿಂದ ಸೇರಿ ಪೈಥಾನಲ್ಲಿ.
ಹ್ಞೂ
ಯಾಕೋ ಪೈಥಾನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಓದೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿ.
ಓಕೆ ರೀ, ಓಕೆ ಅಕ್ಷಯ್, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. And then we'll move on to Varshini. Yes, Varshini, continue. Yeah, Varshini, okay, Rushaba BS.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Myself, Rushaba BS. I am coming from Bapuji Institute, 6th sem Electronics Department. I wanted to learn the coding because I am too weak in coding. So that's why I joined the Python course.
Okay, Rushaba, thank you. Varshini, you can introduce yourself.
Myself Varshini, sir, from Jain Institute of Technology. From CS. I'm in Python side, that's all.
Okay, Varshini, thank you. Okay, yeah. So thank you all for introducing yourself. Okay, so here I have my one more colleague, Rakshita. Okay, she will be another trainer who will be taking up few sessions in this class. Okay, welcome Rakshita. She is MTech, BE and MTech from PESIT, Bangalore, and she will be the trainer for your basics of Python. And later on I'll be switching, training you people, continuing with machine learning. She will also be assisting with the ML classes. Okay, she has done various training programs on machine learning, and she has more expertise in machine learning with Python and cloud computing with Azure. Okay, and she also handles projects for B and MTech students, and she has already guided over 15 MTech students in the previous year. Okay, so yeah, that's the introduction about your another trainer. Okay, so myself, I'll give my introduction once again. Okay, so myself Malesh, I'll be the trainer for this particular program on ML with Python. Okay, so in this course, okay, first of all I'll tell you people, okay, when you take up this session, okay, you'll be learning both Python coding, okay, as well as the machine learning. Okay, not just you'll be learning theory of the machine learning, you'll be learning both Python coding concepts and machine learning. When you learn the machine learning concepts, you will again practice this theoretical aspects by using the Python coding itself. Okay, that's why initial focus will be onto the Python. Okay, so then we'll be moving on to the other sessions, okay, on data exploration, and then moving on to the machine learning concepts. Okay, so I'll give you the flow, how does this training program goes. Okay, usually daily on a basis of Monday to Friday you'll be having a at least 2 hours of session online. Okay, so during the session, okay, you will be doing the hands-on session along with the trainer. Okay, so you need to keep your mobile and laptops parallelly, okay, side by side. So you will be watching the video of the trainer live. Okay, so as the trainer starts explaining the concepts, you please listen. Okay, when he starts typing the programs, so you also keep typing and try executing and check the results immediately. Okay, whenever you find the difficulties in understanding the concept explained, you need to ask it immediately, or otherwise next day sessions you can ask the doubts, or otherwise you can post us a messages, so we'll be happy to reply to you people. Okay, so we'll be sharing our email IDs and all, so then I can contact that. Okay, yeah, that's about how the training goes on. Okay, so I'll give the overview of this particular program, so what will be taught and what will not be taught. Okay, so so let me share my screen. Is the screen visible, guys? Everyone able to see?
It's a
Yeah. See, you will be learning in week 1 class. Okay, so you will be given an introduction to the tools for Python. Today I'll give that introduction now. Okay, so I'll give the introduction about keywords, identifiers. Okay, then basic IO statements. Then you will learn about different types of data types in Python. See, actually Python is very easy to learn. Okay, so that you will actually understand now itself in today's day 1 session itself. Okay, how easier it is compared to the other programming languages. Okay, you will learn about data types. You will learn about other concepts on in data types. You learn about int type, float type. So you will also focus on the most popular Python data types: list, strings, tuples, dictionaries. We will not cover set. The reason is we don't need exclusively the sets in our basic learning of machine learning, so we are avoiding that concepts. Okay, even because we are not going in depth of a Python programming, because our focus is on to learn machine learning as well as learn the basics of Python. Okay, we learning the as much as programming which is required for machine learning. Okay, as and when there are some few topics are required, we will be covering it during the regular machine learning concepts. Okay, you will learn about flow constructs. Please take a note of these things. Okay, if you're having notepad, flow constructs like if condition, if else, for loop, while loop. You will learn about break statement, catch. You will also learn about few concepts on this is not break and continue. Then you have try and catch for exception handling. So these things you will learn about. So you will learn about file operations, not in week 1, you will be learning it later on. Okay, you will learn about matplotlib basics. Okay, so these are the concepts you will be learning in week 1. Okay, so welcome Amrita Balu. Yeah, welcome. Can you see the screen? Yeah, so you're from?
From music department.
Which college? BIT?
BIT.
Okay. Continue. So we are giving just an overview of what will be covered in the during this course. Okay, this internship program. Okay, I will be covering Matplotlib basics for data visualization. Okay, next we will start with the week 2, where we'll continue with the visualization. Will be continued. So apart from Matplotlib, we'll also learn one more library called as Seaborn for statistical visualization. So then you will learn about NumPy for arrays. Then you will learn about pandas. Then you learn about data exploration, okay, which is the heart of your machine learning, which is a basic and a very important stage in machine learning. Okay, whenever you want to implement a machine learning based projects, first of all you need to understand the data. Okay, here you will learn about understanding the data by visualization, and also by looking at values. Okay, so but visualization gives the more detailed view of the data, and we can find some inference. Okay, any inference in the data, or so some kind of inferences or any relationship among the data what it is there, so we'll try to find out that relationship. Okay, so this is what we'll be understanding it, and we'll be doing a mini project on data exploration. Okay, it's in the week 2. Along with that, you'll learn about data cleaning. No, sorry, we cannot do that because we have a 1-day holiday in the week 2. Okay, because of that. Okay, so we'll continue with the week 3 with the data cleaning and introduction to ML. Okay, so all this you will be exclusively using the Python for all this learning. Okay, again in data cleaning, again you'll use the some other libraries in the Python again. Okay, so data cleaning, like few concepts on missing data handling. Okay, binning, also you'll do it one hot encoding. So these are some of the concepts to handle the so corrupt data. Like there are data sets which we take it when there are maybe chances like missing data are present. Okay, so categorical data will be there, like numerical names cannot be fed to the machine learning models. Sorry, categorical data, that means string data you cannot feed it directly. Okay, in many of the machine learning models, so then we need to clean them. So for that we will understand the data cleaning. Okay, so then we will introduce you to the introduction to the machine learning, so both supervised and so we'll be learning about the unsupervised learning. Okay, in this we'll start with the regression, so simple linear regression, multiple linear regression, and followed with a mini project on house price prediction, then stock market. Like this 2 projects will be doing it. Like if you are interested with if you have any good project in mind, okay, we can take it up, which is which can be completed in a 1 or 2 days. That kind of project you can take it up. Okay, so that you need to priorly, if you are informing, so we can take it that kind of project also. Okay, apart from these projects. Okay, or similar projects will be taken up. So employee salary prediction, investment prediction. So employee salary prediction and investment predictions are very simple, but these 2 are good mini projects. You will be doing it in week 3. Okay, and they will also will give you the next week session, that is week 4. You will learn about classification, you will learn about unsupervised learning. In classification, we will learn about k nearest neighbor classification. Okay, you will learn about support vector machines, you will learn about decision trees. Okay, and also you will learn about naive Bayes, okay, classification. Okay. So with a mini project on classification, like flower classifications. Okay, we can do it. We can do a project on disease classification. So like that, several, like we can talk about water quality classification. So like this, several models we can take it and build it. A data set we can take it and we will be building the project. Okay, so unsupervised learning, you will be learning about k-means clustering and a project on this. Okay, like color based image separation. something like that mini project will be doing it. Okay, so then we'll introduce you to the deep learning concepts, basics, that is neural network and ANN theory with a lab session. For all other concepts, you'll be having lab sessions followed with a mini project, but here in this you will be having only the lab session because it's an introductory part. Okay, so these are the concepts you'll be learning in these 4 weeks. Okay, if you are interested later on, you can extend your learning for an additional 6 weeks. Okay, by paying additional 2000 rupees. Okay, that will be online classes only. I'll give that details little later on. Okay, so maybe in the upcoming classes. Okay, so these are the things you'll be learning, guys, in these weeks. Okay, and hopefully now actually I'm not presenting you a direct presentation and making you people to bore. Okay, so you people has to take these notes as I start typing and all. Okay, so whatever things I'm presenting it, you people has to make a notes of it. Anyways, we'll be giving you the notes for reading purpose, so that will be given after 2 weeks. Okay, so you'll get a soft copy. So if you are nearby and if you're able to collect it, or if you are able to collect it after your semesters, once you come to the colleges, you can also collect the hard copy. Okay, so if you're interested to get it couriered, so we'll be couriering it also. Okay, so you need to bear that couriering charges. Yeah, so these are the things you'll be learning it. Okay, so if you guys have any queries regarding this, you can raise it. Tanmay?
Yes, sir.
Have any queries regarding this learning? Okay. Varshini?
Sir.
You have any queries regarding this learning path? Content is concerned? Any questions are there? Okay. Shruti?
No, sir.
Rushiba? Bhumika? Both VK, KM. Any questions are there?
You taking daily classes or once in a week, sir?
The classes will be daily.
No, sir.
The classes will be taken on a daily basis. Okay, Monday to Friday. The class timing is between Monday to Friday. So are you people comfortable with the timing 6 to 8? Or we can make
Yes,
it
sir.
5 to 7 also, if you're all comfortable. If you're all comfortable, we can make the timing between 5 to 7. Okay. Mini project of our own. Yeah, you can choose that. That's what I mentioned here, right? Like I given it is, if you guys have anything in mind, you can discuss it. Okay, but in a week 4 you'll be doing a mini project, so that will be of your own chosen project. So we'll be making a group. Okay, so no matter which college you people are from, you need to discuss among your peers. Okay, because peer learning will help you a lot. Okay, so you can discuss among your group mates and do this mini project. This is the final project. Okay, so this is not this will be above your mini project, what we'll be doing it here in the classes. Okay, so here I'll be deciding these things. Okay, so if you guys have anything here while learning in mind, we can do it as your mini project or the final project which we'll be doing it. Okay, so we cannot consider it as a mini project, so sometimes just we give the name as a mini project. It will be like a major project also some cases. Yeah, Shiv Prasad, that's clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then any others have any queries? So shall we move on to the next? Like we'll start with our classes now. Okay, well, just give me a minute, guys. Okay, so just be online for 2 minutes. manto yes guys, yeah. So we'll start with the introduction to the Python programming. Okay. Someone joined recently, right? Who is that? Ravindra, right? Someone joined. I think he left, seems. Okay, so here we'll be using the tool called as Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab for doing Python programming. Okay, in order to compute our Python programs, we'll be using Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab. Later on, we'll be using Spider. Okay, this is another IDE for Python programming. Okay, so Jupyter Notebook is a good environment where you can write your Python codes, as well as you can write you can also write your documentation also. Okay, so in order to install Jupyter Notebook or Spider, you'll be using a software called as Anaconda. Navigator. Okay, so this software will help you in getting these softwares installed. Go to this particular website called as anaconda.com. What is Anaconda? Okay, so Anaconda is a software package, so which gives you a software package for data science and ML. Okay, provides most of the software packages and libraries, okay, required for data science and machine learning. Okay, it gives you the so programming languages like Python and R. These are the most popular languages used in this machine learning and data science. Okay, so it gives you the tools for programming Python and R, okay, along with the libraries required. Okay, and also it gives you other packages for building user interfaces and all. Okay, so that means once you install Anaconda Navigator, you will get multiple softwares. Okay, just I'll show you what are the softwares you'll be getting it. So mine is little bit older version. In latest version, you will be getting still more. So it is giving me Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, PyCharm, Spider. It is also giving you VS Code, RStudio. These are the softwares we will get it once you install Anaconda Navigator. Anaconda. Okay, this is a navigator where you can choose which software you want to use it. Like you can launch Jupyter Notebook, it will launch the Jupyter Notebook. So this option you will get it once you install the Anaconda. Okay. So in order to install, it's a freeware for individual users. I can just click here on resources for downloading it. Okay, individual edition, which is completely free. Click on individual edition. Okay, so you can click on download. Okay, straight away download for Windows, approximately 477 MB. Okay, free. You need not to do any registration. Okay, so click. So your installation will begin. Your installation will begin here. Let me do installation in some folders. I already have a version. Okay, this is my latest version which will be installing it. Okay, so then you please complete the installation. I'll share you people like how to do this installation. Okay, because already I have it in my system. I'll not show how to do the installation. Okay, I'll be sharing you the video of how to do the installation. It's a normal regular software installation, but if you people like to know the steps, please go through the video we have already posted in our YouTube channel. Okay, so that will help you all people with the installation guide. Okay, there are few options you need to enable it during the installation. So just go through our video and you will be able to do that on your own. Okay. Yeah, so that is the one thing you'll do it with the installation. Okay, so once the installation is completed, okay, your next step will be to start the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so how you're going to start it? Okay, let me show you how you're going to start it and all. So I'll be just closing it. Now to start, click on Anaconda Navigator here. This is the symbol, or you can search in your Windows. Okay, and then you can launch your Jupyter Anaconda. Okay, or otherwise you can directly search for Jupyter Notebook and you can launch it. Okay, so but I recommend you to start with Anaconda Navigator. Okay, so that you can at least beginning you can visually see what are the softwares available. But once you install the Anaconda Navigator, it is not mandatory like you have to start the session from Anaconda Navigator only. Okay, you can directly launch the Jupyter Notebook also, or Spider. If you're using Spider, say like I'll write Spider in search window, so I can launch the Spider tool from here itself. Okay, before that I'll tell you what is this Python. What is Python? Akshay,
Yes, sir.
Python ಏನ್ರಿ?
Yes.
What is Python?
Language,
It is a
program language.
so it's a type of snake, right?
Yes, yes.
It's a one type of snake. Yeah, so but somebody has chosen that name for a programming language. Okay, so with a certain syntaxes. Okay, so what he gave the name as, Python. Okay, so who did this? Who invented this particular programming language called as Python? Guido van Rossum. Okay, so he's the person who invented the Python programming language. Okay, so what is Python? Don't tell like this. Python is a type, it's a programming language. Python is a high level interpreted programming language. Okay, supports cross-platform operation. Okay, so Python is a high-level interpreted programming language supporting cross-platform operation. So it's a one kind of a programming language, but it is based upon an interpreted. Okay, it is based upon an interpreter. It is based on interpreter. What is interpreter? Okay, so there are two types of programming language. One is compiler based and one more is your interpreter based. So in compiler based, what happens is, okay, so we need to stick to the syntaxes. Okay, then check for the syntaxes. Okay, and then compile the code. You need to compile it. Compile it means, so generating machine code. Okay, so that's what happens in C programming, right? When you write a C program, okay, in a Turbo C, or you'll be using code blocks and all, so you need to generate a executable file like hex file, or you can call it as a machine code. So when it will be done in a compilation stage, so which will be done by a special software unit called as compiler. Okay, which will check for all syntax and semantic rules. Okay, and then it will include the libraries required and all, then it will generate an executable file. So then you will be able to, after these stages completion, we can run the program, right? But in interpreted programming languages, what happens is we can run line by line code. Okay, so this interpretation will happen line by line. Okay, you need not to compile the program. There is no rules of compilation here. Okay, so there is a program. Okay, you have written a 10 lines of code. Okay, if there is an 8th line, okay, which is having a syntactical error, okay, there is a error in syntax of the 8th line, still you will be able to run the code up to the 7th line, and you can stop at 8th line. The code will stop at 8th line. But in the compiler, if you written a code, okay, 100 lines of code you written, okay, if you are missing a semicolon, still you will not be able to run that particular code, because there is a syntactical error. The compiler is not generating a executable file because of that. So you need to rectify all the errors, then generate executable file and run it. Okay, so this is the major difference between your interpreter and the compilers. Okay, so usually interpreted languages are most easier, and they are used in GPOS. So they are used in general purpose applications. Okay, so they are used in general purpose application development. Okay, so where this compiler based programming language are used. Okay, so most widely used in embedded applications, because the code generated by compiler based languages are more efficient and is much more faster than the interpreter based codes. C is a compiler based programming language. That's what I said. Okay, so when you write a C program, you need to compile it, right? So then only you will be able to run that program. So whereas your Python is a interpreted based programming language. Okay, so if you look at C, most widely used where? In embedded application like controller programming, okay, in microprocessors. Okay, so these areas will be using C or C++, because they are very faster. They generate a machine code base, the code size will decrease. But in interpreter based languages, okay, the code length, the code size will be more compared to the C and C++. So they are not used in the embedded systems, rather they used in the application like softwares which will be developed, applications like we will be using in mobiles or in computer programs. Okay, computer applications. So that's the major difference between them. So few examples of a interpreter languages are your Java, Python, you have MATLAB. So we cannot take Java as a fully interpreter language. It can fall in both interpreter as well as compiler, because so once it usually interpreter based language in the beginning, but internally it has something called a Java virtual machine, which in turn uses a compiler. Okay, so it falls under both the category. Okay, but the compiler languages are C, C++. Even you can take a Java as an example for that, because Java can fall into both the places. Okay. Any questions, guys, in this? Okay, any questions? Anyone? Any other questions again? Amruta Balu? Amrut Balu? No doubts. Bhumika KM?
No doubt, sir.
Okay, Shruti?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Varshini? Tanmay?
No, sir.
Tanmay?
No doubt, sir.
Fine guys, so shall we move on to the next topic? Yeah, we were actually here. So I was actually discussing about Anaconda Navigator and the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so then we started with the Python, right? So Python has two versions. One is version 2.7 and one more is version 3 and greater. Okay, so current version, which is 3.8, even 3.9 is there. So they are not releasing 3.10 yet because of there is some lack of support with Windows machines. Okay, so 3.8 is used. Okay, an Anaconda Navigator, which when you install, you will be using a 3.8 version. Okay, but I'll be using, or depends on the trainer. Okay, so they may be using version 3.6, 7 or 8. Okay, but you don't find any major differences in any version of this one. Okay, the coding syntaxes remain same, but with the version 2.7 to 3.8 there is so some differences are there. Okay, but we are not going to use the version 2 and it is no more used in most of the places, okay, around the world. Okay, so you need not to worry about the version 2 at all. Use the version 3.8 or any version of the 3.5, 6, all are stable versions only. Yeah, so that's some quick introduction what we have it on Python. Okay, so let us start with Python programming language, why we have to learn Python. Okay, why we have to use Python, why we have to learn Python. Okay, the first reason is, okay, what is the first reason why Python? Python is very human friendly language with the minimalistic syntax. Okay, very easy to understand and learn. So that's the major reason why we are using it. Okay, so it's a versatile programming language. Okay, so this is the main reason. Okay, Shuprasad. So very easy to understand. Yeah, versatile programming language. Yeah. So due to its ease, okay, what is happening is it became increasingly popular among the IT sector. Okay, and due to the popularity of the machine learning. Okay, so since it is an open source programming language, it is a open source programming language. There is another reason. Okay, so because of this reason, so no need to take a license to release. Okay, so you don't require a license, okay, to release products. Okay, so based upon the Python programming languages. Okay, and because it's open source, you will get plenty of community support. Okay, when you're trying to develop an application, okay, so you will get a plenty of community support because of it, since it is open source and since it is easier, many people are using it. So whenever you find doubts, you can always get a help in online itself. Okay, so that's the best part of it. Okay, sometimes you stuck with the C code, so you try to search in Google, so you don't find many a case the solutions. The reason is C is not that much popular nowadays. Okay, If there are older threads are there, then you can find the answers. But with the Python, you will get many suggestions for the same queries. Okay, so that's the one best part of your learning the Python programming language. Okay, and next thing is nowadays most of the industries using it. So used in several areas, like because ML and DP, something called as AI, so are popular, increasingly popular, and ML uses Python as a base, as Python programming in many applications. Okay, so when you try to apply for a ML based job, if you showcase that you have Python programming concepts, okay, so definitely you have better hold on to the better weightage in your interviews. Okay, so that's the because of this popularity and increasingly higher usage in the machine learning, deep learning, AI areas. Okay, so also used in cloud computing. Okay, so databases also, it supports databases also. You can handle databases like this. Plenty of areas applications are there. Even I can use it in web designing. Okay, so that you can combine your CSS, HTML and all. Okay, since it's a cross platform, and also support integration with other languages. That means you can integrate Java code with Python, and also some integrations are supported. Okay, support integration with other languages. Yeah, like this I can list out many things. Okay, so why you have to learn, one has to learn the Python. Okay, it's not just because of syntactical easierness. Okay, so or easy to understand something, like because it is much more than that. Okay, so then there are plenty of libraries for various application domains. You are interested in speech processing, you will get a library for that speech processing. Image processing, you get a OpenCV library for image processing. You are interested in mathematical calculation, you will get a SciPy library. Okay, you are interested in machine learning, you will get a scikit library. Okay, so like this plenty of areas are available. You are interested in user development or web applications, you can get Flask. Okay, like this many libraries are available which are very much helpful in taking your Python coding to the next level. Okay, for your application development. Okay, with all these reasons learning Python is important now. Okay, hopefully that gives you the fair idea so why one has to learn the Python. So if you guys have any queries regarding this, please let me know. Varshini?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Varshini, can you give out some reasons why you have to learn Python?
I'm interested, sir.
No, you can tell the main reasons.
Nowadays, Python is very.
No, you can read it or else.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can read it. You can see the screen, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
It's human friendly and minimalistic syntax.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very easy to understand and learn also.
Yeah. Yeah, fine. Okay. So it's okay. So but in our classes, okay, so you people has to speak out. Okay, so no, don't worry. So we'll make you people to this habit gradually. Okay, all of a sudden we'll not ask you all people to talk a lot. Okay, so we'll make sure that at the end of the your internship program, you people are comfortable with speaking and presenting. Okay, the topics whatever we teach it. Okay, fine. Thank you, Varshini. Tanmay,
Yes, sir.
can you list out other topics, other importance of Python?
Sir, its diversity in field because it is used in many industries and even it can be used in various applications such as cloud computing, web design, database, and even we have more opportunities in it.
Yeah.
And even it is user friendly.
Fine. Thank you. Very good, Tanmay.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
ಹೇಳಿ.
ಸರ್ ಜಾವಾ ಮತ್ತು ಪೈಥಾನ್ ಎರಡು ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಈಗ ಪೈಥಾನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ನ ಜಾವಾಗೆ ಜಾವಾದಿಂದ ಪೈಥಾನ್.
Oh, see that I am not sure that like you can convert something like that. Okay, so but you can integrate it. You can have two languages in one code. Like you have developed some application in Python.
I recently heard about it. I recently heard about it.
Like
company, sir. We used to work as Java programmer, sir, but
like I'll tell you something like that. What will happen is, so these are like exclusive software package, software tools which you have to use it for that. Say I'll tell you something like in MATLAB programming, what happens is, so once you have written a MATLAB code, okay, it's a separate syntax. It's very much similar to Python. Okay, from that code you can generate C++ code. Both the codes you can generate it. Okay, but if you have a C code, you can generate a MATLAB code from that also. Okay, so for that I need to use that expensive software. Okay, so but here also, okay, so when you return a Java code, okay, so you can do the conversions, but they are not straightforward. Okay, they are not like open source completely. Yes, got the point, Shivprasad?
got it, sir.
Yeah. If you check anywhere like online, okay, so these conversion tools and all will be expensive only. Okay. Yes. Any other questions? Rushaba, sorry. Bhumika.
Sir, except Java, only.
Yes, Shuprasad, you have query?
Yes, sir. Python can be converted to any other, sir. Other than, like you told me that MATLAB can be converted to C++.
Yeah.
Likewise, Python can be.
Like Python language to be converted to other languages. Okay. Yes. See, it is like not like it is Python is a open source coding language. It is been developed. Okay. By Gudo van Rossum. Later on it has been used like updation is happening by much of the community support. Okay, but it is not a tool, separate tool. Okay, for conversions language is not required. It is what required is the tools are required. Okay, but you will find plenty of tools which can support the different language conversions. Okay, you can find it online. Okay, so there are supports are there for say example so exclusively some industry requires them to write a Python code and then convert it to Java. They definitely develop a software for that. There are tools are there for that conversions. Okay, like that you can find applications supporting many language conversions, not just a Python to Java or Python to C. There many conversion tools will be there. Yes, Shubhra sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay guys, so that is your basic introduction to your Python programming. Okay, so then now we'll move on to the using how to use this particular language. Okay, how do we start our beginning journey about using the Python. Okay, so as I mentioned, we'll be using Jupyter Notebook. Now the Rakshita madam will be continuing with this session. Okay, Rakshita.
Yes, sir.
Can you start with how to use the Jupyter Notebook from the beginning, from Anaconda Navigator?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I'll just stop presenting it.
Give me a moment. I'll share my screen. So once you launch your Anaconda Navigator, and then you'll select your Jupyter Notebook, which we'll be using for coding and to learn Python. Once you launch it, in few of your laptops, you might directly be able to open the folder, whereas for you, for few people, you'll get a link here. A notepad will open, and you can see there is a link. You'll have to go to this link. Copy paste in your Google search. This particular window will open. Here you can select folders, whichever folder you want your program to, wherever you want to work. So I'll be selecting desktop. Once you select desktop, you can create a new folder here by using this option. You can see there are different options here. You will click on Python 3 notebook option. This is your IDE tool where you'll be practicing Python, and these are the cells where you'll be, these are called cells, and this is where you'll be writing your program and executing your instructions. So let's go back here. We can use Jupyter Notebook for documentation as well as executing your program. So we have discussed what is Jupyter Notebook, how to install it, and how to create a new or your first notebook. We have seen this. So as I said earlier, each of this text dialog box which you are seeing, it will be called as a cell, and that is where you can either write the documentation or you can write the instructions. So for example, you can see this is the documentation, and when I run this, we'll get the text as it it looks similar to your textbooks or any notes PDF format in PDF, or I can use it for executing instructions. So I'm printing hello world here. If I run this, you can see the output will also be available in the same window. And this is one more example. So you can see when I executed this instruction, it is not like you could not see the output as soon because I'm giving a delay of 3. And one second. If you observe here, inside the square brackets, you can see after 3 seconds the instruction is getting executed. Before that it was showing asterisk symbol. So that is how you will know your instruction is running.
Okay.
One more thing is, this is where you'll be rename or giving a name to your Jupyter Notebook.
Yeah, 1 minute, Akshita. Thank you. Just I'll showcase one more like way of launching the Jupyter Notebook. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. As Rakshita showed you people like how do you launch the Jupyter Notebook. That is one way of launching it. So another way of launching will be like this. Okay. Yeah. Just give me a moment. I'll just share my screen. So because this is the thing which you people has to get familiarity with. When you open your Jupyter like Anaconda Navigator, when you launch it, these are the options you will able to see it. So directly you can click on launch, as already your another trainer has shown you. Okay. So but some of you people, as she mentioned, you will get a direct straight away the Excel the tab of Jupyter will open automatically here like this. But some of you will get a notebook, as you can see it in the Rakshita madam video. Okay, so that's how the difference is. Okay, so now you can select a desktop or somewhere. Like I prefer going to the desktop because here Jupyter Notebook doesn't gives you the more options to select folders. Okay, better you create a folder in desktop and then launch, then select that from this Jupyter Notebook launcher. For example, I have a facet CSE, there is a classes. Okay, I'll create a new notebook. Okay, as madam mentioned, so if you want to rename this title, so this is untitled, I'll give it as a day 1, the title name is. Okay, so then we'll start writing the code here. Okay, so let me print few names here. Okay, print is a basic command like hello world. Okay, so it is a hello world program which I'm writing it. Okay, so as mentioned, what is this, Varshini? This is called as, these are called as cells, right? Yeah. So what cell it is? So it is a code cell. Can you see this? Can I check here? It is called as code cell. That means you can write your actual program. Okay. But here I am writing print hello world. Okay. So this is, if I change it to markdown cell, so this will become a plain text. So whatever you written there, completely all the things will be executed. Okay, but here only the print statement, what is the function, print statement is accepting this string and it is executing that. But what about here? This is called as markdown, like text you can write it. If you want to write your text, as Rakshita madam shown you plenty of documentation, you can do it. Okay, so that's how you can easily do it, the documentation. So that's why we prefer using the Jupyter. There are plenty of other options are there. Okay, so what are the other options you have is Spider, you have PyCharm, you got Atom, like you can use Visual Studio. Okay, like this plenty of software options are there in order to write Python code. There is a basic library called as idle, which is given by your Python org. Okay, Python website, official website. Okay, so this is the python.org, the official website. So here it gives you the basic software called as, this is the latest version, you can see it, Python 3.9.7, that is the latest version available. Okay, so this is the main website. So you can download a software from here also, but it is a basic software, only you can learn Python. Okay, then rest of the things which I mentioned in your class at the beginning, what you will be learning it. So in order to learn that, you need to install, keep installing the softwares, many libraries you need to install it. Okay, so we are not preferring this original versions by python.org. Okay, yeah. So that's your basic introduction. Okay, here now if I execute this one, it will throw the error because it is not considering these values as a text. Instead it is considering them as a variables. So I'll change it a markdown cell. Okay, so then I'll give some beautifications, like I'll extend the font size with a hash. You can see here the font size, the darks. Okay, then I can give some names to this, like Python softwares. I can give a hyphen here with a space, then hyphen space. So this is like bullets. you are making it. Okay, so now you can check here how the documentation happened here. Madam has shown the example like how you can do it. You can insert an image. Okay, can you show that, Rakshita? Can you share your screen now?
Yes, sir. Once. So here you guys can see I've included certain images here, even here as well. So how do I do it is, after selecting it as a markdown cell, you can see here I'm using exclamatory, giving the name of the image with its extension and the attachment. So this is giving the file path. So this is how you'll be reading the images into your document.
So basically you can like use Jupyter Notebook for both for writing your code, right? Okay, yeah, Rakshita, right? So you can use it for writing your codes as well as you can do the documentation. Okay, so that means for initial learners it is better, right, Rakshita? So which one is better? Like you prefer Jupyter Notebook or something else?
Jupyter Notebook is much better because you can also do the documentation for your practice, as well as once you create an application, if you're giving it to your client, then if the client needs to know some information, you can put it in this itself, in one folder itself, so it is useful.
Yeah, so that means in one file. Okay, so you can get both options, like you can get like you can get your code, you have your code and you have your documentation as well. So that's why it becomes more like intuitive coding. Okay, so any times you want to refer it, okay, you have a beautiful documentation, okay, so which will describe you what code you have written, so what is the meaning of that code, all sorts of information you have it. Okay, so you can share it among your peers who want to learn Python, so they can also easily understand. Okay, so that's why we prefer using the Jupyter Notebook rather than using some other languages, some other tools. Okay, but of course the drawback of Jupyter Notebook, it doesn't gives us the basic things which are required in the industry, like debugging your code becomes difficult in Jupyter Notebook. Then we'll switch on to the Spider. Okay, that's why we mentioned in the beginning weeks you'll be learning the codings in Jupyter Notebook. Once you people are comfortable in Python coding, then we'll move on to the Spider. Okay, that will be taken in the like third or fourth week session. Okay, yeah. Yes guys, you guys have any question? Starting with Tanmay.
No questions, sir.
Yeah. Then Varshini.
No, sir.
Yeah. Bhumika.
No, sir.
Yeah. So any others have questions? Akshay. Okay. So moving on. Yeah. Like the screen is not shared. I'll just cast my screen. Wait a minute guys. Say one point which I'll mention is Python uses dynamic memory allocation. So that means you need not to worry about memory, and you don't have to worry about the data type. Okay, it does the data type conversion automatically based upon the data type used. Okay, but this doesn't happens with your what do you call other languages. Like if you're using the C program, okay, you need to mark you need to mention a data type of that. Okay, then if you're using any variables, you need to use, you should tell that what kind of a variable it is. Okay, then you can use that variable and then you can assign the value. Okay, but here it is not like this. Say example, I can take a variable called as A, I can assign the year 2021, I'll take the variable B, I'll write it as Abhiyantrix. Okay, So then soft lamp, so I'm assigning a string value. Okay, C already with a single inverted quote or double inverted quote we can write it. So we'll be having separate session on strings as well. Okay, so just I'll be writing minus 5000 d is equal to 500.50121. Okay, yeah. Then I can print these values. I can print a comma b comma c comma d. So no problem, I didn't got any error. I was able to print all the values. Okay, so they have been assigned and they got the memory and they have been printed also. Okay, so what does this means, Tanmay? So what is the meaning of this? Yeah,
Following the command in a sequential order and it is printing, and it is easy to insert it. Like if C programming, we sure to mention it whether it is in float character. We are without mentioning it is taking the.
So that means it can dynamically allot a memory and dynamically assign the data type. Okay, so they are all different data types actually. Okay, so for example, Shiv Prasad, what is the data type of this variable? A. Okay, Varshini?
Integer.
Yeah, Varshini?
Integer.
Yeah, fine, thank you, Shiv Prasad. So what is the data type of this B variable, Varshini?
String.
It is string. Bhumika, what is the data type of this variable? Actually it is a signed integer. Okay, so this can be called as simply int. Okay, in Python it becomes simply int. Okay, what is this one? Akshay, this is the float. Okay, so can we check that? Okay, so you have 3 different data types here, but without any headache we are able to assign the values to them directly. Okay, so let's check the type of A. So that is the function, okay, to check the data type of a variable. Type, very simple and easy to understand, right? B, and type of C, and print type of D. Okay, so you can easily understand the like data type. Okay, you can check int, string, int, float. Okay, straight away print as direct understanding. Okay, so you're able to do this beginning program today. Yeah, so it is very easy to do it. Okay, understand. And memory allocation is also very easier. It uses dynamic memory allocation. So whereas C uses C program or a C++ uses static type of memory allocation. Okay, in static memory allocation what happens is, okay, so you need to first declare a variable, so then assign the value. Okay, so that is what you have to do it. Okay, then there is a chance like when you declare a variable with some memory, okay, so chances of garbages can come and sit in your data, right? So you have some problem with the garbages. Okay, so garbage values. So but here you don't find anything like that. Okay, so that is the best part of your Python. Okay, yes guys, so that is a basic introduction to your Python coding. Okay, so if you guys have any doubts, please let me know. So Amrut.
Yes.
Clear? Okay. Rushabha. Okay. So that's it for today's guys. Okay. So let me ask you few